Welcome back, members of the Scribe Tribe. We have got some additional news for you dropped just last night. That is, the new marquee characters, both BT1 and 000, are coming to the game very, very shortly to a marquee near you. These are presumably the next set of requirements for Dr. Aphra. We are still waiting on 2 more, but the kits are here. Let's go check them out. Alrighty, and here we have the first of the 2 marquees. I think this is the first time CG have ever introduced a pair of marquee characters at one time, so that's pretty cool. And I think the writing was kind of on the wall. Many people, including myself, did theorize that we would be getting BT1 and 000 here as 2 of the requirements for Dr. Aphra. They are notably her droids, and we can basically think of them as evil R2D2 and C-3PO. I'm sure I'm going to get some hate for that, but hey, I'm going to roll with it. Okay, so let's check out BT1 with a sip of that coffee. Delicious. So he's an attacker, a droid, and a scoundrel, and he is dark side. That should come as no surprise to anybody that's read the comics. When 000 is an ally, BT1 assists when 000 uses a special ability, and BT1 is granted an ability while 000 is also active. Wanton Destruction. BT1 gets so excited when he defeats an enemy that he deals damage indiscriminately to both friend and foe. This is an interesting mechanic. We'll take a look at it later, and I think there's probably going to be some interaction with Dr. Aphra down the line that makes use of that. Entirely homicidal. BT1 gains a massive amounts of offense and benefits greatly each time he or 000 defeats an enemy in 3v3 Grand Arenas. So yes, we do have a 3v3 Grand Arena Omicron, similar to we saw with the Tuskens, or Tusken Raider, I believe. Now, does beg the question, who's going to be the third? When you look at the synergy suggestions down here, you've got T3, Sortie, and Dark Trooper. The most notable thing that we can make out of this is that they're all droids. However, I think we would be silly to assume that Dr. Aphra does not have direct synergy with BT1 and 000. So I imagine the trio is going to be Aphra, BT1, and 000. Okay, let's take a look at 000. Ooh! He is Darkside, Support, Droid, and Scoundrel. Now, they both do have the Scoundrel tag, which I do like. The Scoundrel tag is a fantastic tag, so I'm happy to see that. Highlights, he is a Specialist. When you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. 000, inflicts torture on his foes and then offers benefits to allies who damage or defeat enemy whilst torture is active. Pretty cool. We can look at that as sort of a mirror of confusion. He also does have translation as well. Words do spring to mind. Whenever 000 or BT1 gains a stack of translation, they grant a stack of translation to each other. That's showing that direct synergy there. They work off each other. He is a droid elitist. Inflicts target lock onto random non-droid enemies at the start of his turn, and when a non-droid enemy is defeated, 000 offers extra buffs and turn meter if a droid ally dealt the blow. So obviously more direct synergy there with direct droid allies. So, you can see his synergy suggestions are, of course, BT1. We've got T3, Sortie, and Dark Trooper. Alrighty. Okay, we're going to skip over the key attributes, and we're just going to go straight into the nitty-gritty here. We want to have the beautiful basics. Now, overcharged laser. Nice little animation here with a shoulder cannon coming out like he's, I don't know, Predator or something, and shoots a basic. Final text. Deal physical damage to the target enemy 3 times and inflict a stack of damage over time for 2 turns. Now, I'm pretty certain that's just 1 stack of damage over time. It's not going to be 3, but still, decent enough, basic, nothing special. Agent of Destruction, a cooldown of 3. Final text, deal physical damage to all enemies and inflict expose for 1 turn and a stack of damage over time for 2 turns. If the target enemy is inflicted with target lock, inflict burning and another stack of damage over time for 2 turns. Yeah, not bad. Expose is obviously a very good buff. Burning is decent. And stacking additional dots, nothing wrong with that. So, pretty decent special, nothing crazy to write home about just yet. Unique 1, homicidal counterpart, Zeta Omicron. Final text, so this is both a Zeta and an Omicron now, guys. At the start of battle, BT1 gains 10% crit damage for each droid ally, 10% potency for a dark side ally, and 5 speed for every scoundrel ally. So, it's important to note that this is every ally, not every other ally, so he will be gaining these benefits himself. If 000 is an active ally, gain the granted ability, kill them all. Whenever 000 uses a special ability, BT1 assists, dealing 40% less damage. Now, he's going to do his basic, don't forget, attacks 3 times, and it also applies dots, so it's going to be pretty decent. Even if he's doing 40% less damage, you will be stacking quite a lot of debuffs. Kill them all. This granted ability is a cooldown of 5. Deal physical damage to all enemies and call 000 to assist. Ugh, I'm so boring. While in 3v3 Grand Arenas, here's the Omicron kicking in. Whenever BT1 or 000 defeat an enemy, their cooldowns are refreshed and they gain 30% turn meter. Pretty huge. Obviously in 3v3 you can only ever really kill 2, maybe 3 characters. The last one obviously isn't going to give you any benefits, but if they do have something like GBA, summoning an extra unit, yeah, still quite useful, but I wouldn't call this incredible. Just pretty good. Just pretty good. I would hold off on this one. And I've got to love this unique ability, Haywire. Guys, like, this one just makes me laugh. Like, that's a great animation. Hats off to the art department there. That is actually really cool. So yeah, they get props for doing a very good animation there with Haywire. So, unique to his Blastomech prototype, BT1 gains 100% offense. That's pretty big. He doubles up his offense. Whenever he defeats an enemy, he gains the granted ability Haywire and takes a bonus turn. So if he kills someone, he's going to gain a bonus turn straight away, and then he'll be able to use Haywire, which is that AoE that hurts allies as well as enemies. During this bonus turn, BT1 removes ability block from himself and can only use the granted ability Haywire. Now, I'm assuming that it also gets rid of locked ability block, like we see from the likes of Lord Vader, especially with that cooldown Datacron. Otherwise, he'd be trapped, so I'm assuming he can even remove locked ability block there. Haywire, deal physical damage to all other characters, reduced by 75% for allies, which can't be evaded. This damage cannot defeat enemies or allies. Yeah, so it hurts all characters. It's going to deal 75% less damage to all of your allies, and it can't kill anybody. So it's useful. It doesn't apply any debuffs, but it's just kill an enemy, you get a little bit of extra oomph there. What's important to know, I think potentially we're going to have some synergy with this with Dr. Aphra. There may well be some form of synergy there where if you take damage, you gain some buffs, or if you take damage from your own units, you gain some buffs. I think they might try to play off that. Otherwise, it's just a bit odd. I don't think we've ever had a special ability or an ability in general that actually hurts your own team before. Not that I'm against it. It's not a lot of damage, and it certainly can't kill you, which is great. Okay, moving on, we've got 000's abilities now. Basic is Fatal Shock. Deal special damage to target enemy and inflict shock for 1 turn. Shock is a fantastic debuff, guys. It stops buffs, it stops healing of health, not protection. It stops TM gain, so really, really good debuff Shock is. If the target enemy is not droid and is already inflicted with shock, stun them for 1 turn instead. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. Apologies. So, yeah, it will shock on a basic. If the enemy is not a droid and they already have shock, it will stun them for 1 turn instead. Very good. If this ability defeats an enemy, gain a stack of translation, max for 3 turns. We all know what translation does, guys. You know, once you've got that triple stack of translation, you'll be able to decrease cooldowns with a basic, assuming by 000. But this isn't the only method in which we can get translation from 000. Special 1, specialized in torture, cooldown of 5, and it is an Omicron. It's a pretty boring animation, but, you know, whatever. Deal special damage and inflict torture on the target enemy for 1 turn, which can't be copied, dispelled, evaded, or resisted. So you're going to get tortured, son. If the target enemy already had torture, instead, deal special damage to all enemies and grant all dark side allies a stack of translation, max for 3 turns. So yeah, that's pretty good. The Omicron aspect here. In 3v3, torture inflicted from this ability lasts for 2 turns. If BT1 is an active ally, BT1 and 000 recover 20% health and protection. If this ability defeats an enemy, all Darkside allies gain 10% offense stacking for the rest of the encounter, doubled for Darkside droids. Wow! Okay, so this is a better Omicron. in my opinion. Because it'll give you stacking offense. I still don't know if it's incredibly useful. It gives them a lot of longevity, but again, it's 2 Omicrons here for 3v3. Not sure if I'm going to send on that one. Torture. Now, the actual debuff has some really good effects. Receives bonus damage equal to 10% of the character's max health when damaged by an attack. Now, don't forget, this will do reduced damage on enemies that take reduced damage from percentage health effects, such as GLs, Malgus, Malak, Crew, OG Kylo, all of these good people. Now with Datacrons, anybody with the Grit Datacron, they'll take reduced damage from it, but it's still useful. They reduce their defense by 10%, stacking to maximum of 50% for the rest of the encounter when they're damaged by an attack, and they can't gain bonus turn meter. Torture is a good debuff, guys. It's a very good debuff. There's something for everybody there. It will deal increased damage, lower their defense, and they can't gain bonus TM. Really good. His unique 1, Interrogation Protocol. Darkside allies gain 20% crit damage. Whenever a Darkside ally uses an ability on an enemy with Torture, grant that ally 1 stack of translation for 3 turns. Darkside allies gain 5% potency for each stack of translation on them, doubled for droids. Yeah, so it's going to stack the potency. Obviously, we know that BT1 does a lot of sorry, Milo's barking in the background, does a lot of debuffs on his kit. He does dots on basic, he does additional burning and dots and exposes on his first special. Let's not forget, because BT1 is going to be triple tapping on his basic, if he's called to assist against an enemy with Torture, that's going to hit them 3 times, which means he's going to decrease their defense by 30% off 1 bit of health, one attack, and he's also going to have deal 30% of their max damage to them. So attacking an enemy with Torture with anybody that hits multiple times, Dark Trooper obviously does on his basic, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. You're going to shred through people. So yeah, like their use might be restricted against people that don't take that bonus damage, but when you get the right situation, they're going to shred, absolutely shred. Okay. So, translation, beneficial effects based on the cumulative effect of each stack. So, 1 stack, 30% health, 2 stacks, 15% crit chance, and 3 stacks, as we know that whenever, if only one ally who grants, so basically whenever 000 is going to basic, he's going to decrease allies with 3 stacks of translations cooldowns by 1. Which is great. He has a second unique called Drain Organics, which sounds mildly sexual, I will admit. Whenever 000 or BT1 gains a stack of translation, they grant a stack of translation to each other. So basically, you give BT1 a stack of translation, then 000 gets it. You give 1 to 000, then BT1 gets it. It's going to stack their levels of translations very quickly, which is pretty cool. At the start of 000's turn, inflict target lock for 1 turn on a random non-droid ally that does not already have it. Whenever a non-droid enemy is defeated, the attacking ally recovers 30% health and protection. Nice. So there's a lot of recovery here. This is a Zeta again. If the attacking ally is a Darkside droid, they also gain offense up for 2 turns and gain 15% turn meter. If the attacking ally is BT1, he gains offense up for 2 turns and 30% turn meter instead. So there is a lot of turn meter generation going on in this team. There's a lot of passing of damage. There's a lot of assists. They're looking fun. And I'm waiting to see just how they're going to interact with our good girl, Dr. Aphra. Now, that is some pretty cool kits, guys. They haven't specifically stated when these 2 marquees are dropping. We just know that they're coming together. We can assume that they're coming either tonight or tomorrow, is what I would say. They also don't specifically state that these are requirements for the new Dr. Aphra Legacy event. However, I can guarantee you they're going to be, so just trust it. Yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on BT1 and 000 down below. I would love to hear it. And in the meantime, just hit that like button and subscribe to your boy Scribe, and I will see you all in the very next video. Peace out. Just giving a quick shout out to my patrons. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and without your support, I wouldn't be doing this today. Thanks so much.